while we're talking about like WrestleMania 5 and all that, you and your brother worked as a tag team before you went to WWF, and then it was never really brought up while you were there. Was there ever like any talk behind the scenes to have you two work together as a tag team?
Okay, here's your trivia question. Anybody can jump in. I was only in the ring one time with Randy in the WWF or WWE. Name that time.
I will give it a guess. I will say before you were reading a poem trashing Hulk Hogan and talking good about Randy Savage. It was before the WrestleMania.
That's close. But name the time that I was in the ring with Randy.
I can't. Anybody? Anybody gonna save us from ourselves here?
No, I think we're gonna have to be enlightened on this.
Get your hands off that keyboard. Okay.
We're not fast enough. None of us are smart enough to click that fast.
Okay. Behold this humble entourage. Their heads are bowed in reverence at the very slightest whisper of one name, exalting in his splendor, which is altogether fitting of the people and the lands from whence he came. False monarchies are commonplace as kingdoms rise and fall, but I, the genius full of glory and renown, say the Macho Man is everything that everybody, everywhere, would ever want to wear a crown. I say this king deserves a queen beside him on the throne, and Sherry is the fairest in the land. Nobody else is worthy of this monumental honor and the regal splendor of his royal hand. We witness the dethroning of one Jim the Hacksaw Duggan, whose crown and robe are in a state of ravage. I now remove my mortar board and place it near my heart, and thus proclaim you Macho King Randy Savage.
Oh, that's awesome, dude. I got like chills when you did that one. That one's good. I love it. That's
hey,
great.
Can I tell you what actually happened to me 2 months ago?
Go.
In Los Angeles. And you know, a couple great things happened on that tour. I met Mike Tyson, and I got my picture taken with him, and you know, that makes my 5th world champion boxer that I've met, but that's the first time I ever took a picture. But there was this Filipino family, and this little that got my autograph, and they introduced me to their little 10-year-old daughter, and she just recited the poem I just recited better than I did.
Really?
And
Wow.
I said, I said, you weren't alive when I did that. How did you do it? She says, we got Macho Man's DVD. It's on there in edited scenes.
Oh,
and
that's
said,
awesome.
Wow.
So what I did, I just about cried because, you know, that's, you know, today is the 10th month anniversary of my brother's demise. And, you know, it meant, this was 2 months ago, and she brought tears to my eyes because to think the caring and the love that went into, you know, studying a poem like that. So I had Limericks from the Heart and Lungs and Wrestling with Rhyme, the 2 books I wrote that's available on GeniusLannyPoffo.com, and I gave them gratis, free and gratis, both to her, and signed it very nicely. And she said, oh, thank you for giving my daughter free books. I said, oh, it's not free. When she's 18 years old, I want to see her again, and I want her to push my wheelchair and wipe my mouth after I eat.
That's awesome. That's awesome. That's a fantastic story. I love it. Brandon Galvin, you?
Yeah, you know, being one of the pioneers for high-flying wrestling, what is your take on people who continue to downplay the importance of cruiserweights and high flyers in professional wrestling? All these people that say that they can't be towards the top of the card, that they're just there to open the show and be mid-carders. What is your take on that?
Well, that's an opinion, and I would have to say that if you're talking about The Rock and Steve Austin, who can't do any of that stuff, do they pop the crowd? Absolutely, yes. So there is some validity in what you're talking about. The Rock can't do it, and Steve Austin can't do it, but what they do is sell many tickets, so much so that The Rock has become a movie star and has transcended the scope of wrestling. And but on the other hand, I believe it's like the circus, Ringling Brothers, Barnum and Bailey, the greatest show on earth. If you really want a great show, you need the high flying, you need the big guy, you need the fat lady, you need the daring young man on the flying trapeze, and you need the three-headed geek. In other words, let us celebrate our diversity. Let us say there's a lot of reasons why people might want to buy a ticket. And let's give them a little comedy, a little serious, and the main thing is don't let them get a box of popcorn during the matches. And when they do that, you can smell it all the way back to the dressing room. So I don't criticize high flyers, nor do I criticize, in other words, I don't knock success. And some of the wrestlers that used to criticize me for high flying, my answer was I'd rather have your envy than your pity.
That's true. That's a great point too, Mike Hale.
Yeah, Lanny, you brought up the unfortunate passing of your brother. Like so many of his adoring fans, we never got a chance to meet Randy. What is the thing that you'd like us fans to take away from, just the overall impression of your brother? What would you like us to remember about him?
No matter what you bought a ticket for, he gave you a better show. In other words, if you spent $20 on a ticket, he didn't give you a $20 show. He gave you more. He was always on time, always there, ready to go, ready to perform. And he felt that if he shortchanged the fans, that was like going into the audience and taking their wallet. He was a shoplifter. Not every wrestler felt that way. Randy was professional, and he was good to his fans. He always signed autographs. He appreciated the fans for giving, by paying to see Randy Savage, it gave Randy Poffo an excellent life. And I have to say, my father died in 2010. Randy died in 2011. My father was just shy of 85. My brother was half a year shy of 59. My brother died painlessly. My father died for the last 10 years of his life in pain. And I'd have to say, I think Randy's life was excellent and enviable, and I'd trade right now with Randy. In other words, to have done what he did, and what a mark he left on the world too. Not just wrestling. His role in Spider-Man, wasn't that fantastic?
Can you hear me? Did we lose you?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I got it. No, we got you back.
I'm saying his role in Spider-Man, wasn't that great?
Oh yeah, definitely.
That was awesome.
And that was like the 10th largest grossing film ever in Hollywood history. And he had a great role in that. Ooh, Bonesaw is ready.
Fantastic. That's great. That's great. Now listen, he just asked about your brother's legacy. Well, what would you want the fans to take away from your legacy?
Well, here's what I've wanted to be like Randy all my life, but not now. You understand?
Yes.
In other words, he won the sprint. I want to win the marathon. How do I do that? He achieved immortality through his work. I want to achieve it by not dying. Okay? Now, I have just lost 45 pounds. Now, I'm not trying to sell you some protein shake or I didn't sign any contracts with anybody. I was just some guy watching public broadcasting, and I saw Joel Furman on TV. And I thought, what a great speaker. So now I'm on GOMBS, greens, onions, mushrooms, beans, berries, seeds, and nuts. And distilled water, no oil, no salt, no sugar. And is it boring? Absolutely not. Every morning I get up and weigh myself. And I'm down to, right now, 220. I'm down to 229, 228. And I'm going to lose 10 more pounds, and then we're going to see if we can just keep this going. but I was 272. And what's next? You know, I get you in the bear hug. You know, I'm like Bundy.
That's fun. Hey, would you like to play? That was great. I love having you on the show. That was fantastic. We're gonna send you out on that. You got anything you want to plug before we let you go out?
Yeah, go on geniuslannypoffo.com. I've made a fantastic tribute to the Macho Man. How many of you three have seen it?
I have. I've gone on. That's how I got in contact with you, through your website. It's a great website. I love it.
Wasn't that something, the way we put all those moments together? And
and your father, too. Some great pictures of your father as well.
Yeah, geniuslannypoffo.com, and I've got a tribute to my brother and my father there. But go in the shop section, and you can even, through PayPal, you can even telephone me. Boy, we're getting a lot of response on that. We've got 2 books, Limericks from the Heart and Lungs. 3 smokers with nothing to do decided to go to the zoo. As they lit up to smoke, I heard one monkey joke. Hey, look, human see, human do. Now, I'm a divorced man. I'm a one-time loser. And my daughter is going to be 28 May 29th. And she doesn't smoke, and she's the one that made me, Lanny, the non-smoking dad. And since 100% of my progeny is non-smoking, I'm going to tell you that gives me the right to help other parents raise smoke-free children, because not only is it the leading cause of preventable death, it is also the fork in the road toward bad grades, dropping out of school, drugs/alcohol, teenage pregnancy, and teenage suicide. For some reason, statistically, non-smokers don't suffer the 5 nightmares of youth.
That's a great cause. Now, like you said, it's all about the marathon for you, and you're building your legacy through helping people. And you know what? That's just as admirable, dude.
Well, I'll tell you what. Thank you, but having lived this life as the brother of the Macho Man, let me tell you, and I'm not criticizing myself in any way. I don't have false pride or false modesty. I would have never gotten to the WWF if the Macho Man hadn't kicked that door open for me. And I probably wouldn't have gotten to be the genius or got to work with Hulk Hogan if the Macho Man hadn't kicked that door open for me. So the last thing I'm going to do is kick Randy when he's dead. You see what I mean? I will tell the truth about Randy. I will defend him. And, you know, there's a lot of wrestlers out there who might be saying otherwise, that are false either. You see what I mean? And I am here, if I open my mouth, is to honor him.
And that's totally admirable, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's great. You know what I mean?
Oh yes. And I appreciate. I don't know how much longer we're going to talk, but I appreciate the professionalism of you guys, because I learned it was 3 guys or 4 guys interviewing me. Do you realize that nobody has interrupted me yet?
Oh, that's actually surprising, to be frank. We usually interrupt each other. Well, we actually saved all that for once you're off the phone. We're gonna ruin each other's talks a little bit later. stick around, you'll catch it.
Well, I don't really like getting interrupted, and every time I made a point, as I put a period in the end of it and paused, then you guys spoke, and I thought to myself, I love these guys, man. They're so professional. They're just letting me talk, and then when I'm done, they talk. I thought this was the way it was supposed to go.
You know what? There's your open invitation. If you ever want back on this show, we would love to have you on, and we will give you your time.
Absolutely.
I appreciate it, guys, and how much more we got?
No, that's it, man. We're going to send you out right now. If just anything else you want to say to the crowd before we send you out?
Yes, if you can't play a sport, be one.